Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. Oh man, you know what? Tonight's show, we're doing a two-part series. Can you imagine that? We're doing two shows in one night. So, family, if you haven't already, hit the bell icon to get the subscriptions going on. Like, hit the bell icon. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you can get your notification. You can be part of the notification gang, gang, gang. And of course, you are my family. So what I'm going to do right now is share the link to you off the bat so you can be part of the Scholar gang, Scholar gang, 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 gang. So let's get it on and popping, baby. Let's get it on and popping, okay? Because we're here right now. We've got a few people in the building right now. And we're gonna hopefully wait for more people to join us, and then we're gonna, jump into some real hard body knowledge. Okay, I don't even want to spend too much time on here though. So if y'all want to come in fast, because I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here. All right. So who we got here? We got Uhuru in the building. Talk to me, King. Talk to me. Go ahead, King. We've also
Yo,
got
what's
Harry
good,
Singh. Go
fam?
ahead, King. All right. Y'all staying quiet as hell, right? Y'all asked for the new show and y'all staying as quiet as hell. All right, cool. So that means it's time for me to go to my bed. Jeez. What you saying? Talk to me, G.
Chilling, G, chilling. What's the audience saying still? You
Cool.
guys need to ask some questions, man. Any questions, comments, anything you guys got?
All right. So we got brother Malik. I saw this brother jumped in earlier on. The last show. What you saying, brother Malik? Brother Malik, are you there, King?
Peace. How you doing?
I'm good. Is that brother Malik from America?
Yes, with the three Ks.
With the three
Ks.
kings. Yeah.
Ks. America.
Oh yeah, the America free case.
No
Yeah,
C.
yeah. Yeah. My brother. Long time, man. Long time no see, no hear, man. How you been?
Good. I heard the show earlier, and I was really impressed because this is actually the first show that I've heard out of any platform that was dealing with credible, classical, authentic sources with the religion of Islam. Most of the time, it's the more science temple, the nation of God's earth, the nation of Islam, but not really classical sources like hadiths or mentioning of scholars. Um, the mention, it was very, I was impressed. And so it caught my attention. And then when I was first listening, I was like, I was under the impression for a minute, I thought that you took Shahada. And I wasn't going to knock you, nothing like that, but I was surprised. But listening to the show, um, I respected your perspective where you were coming from of showing that I'm gonna say how I would see it, like that there are things in Islam that showed where it came from other sources, and so there's similar things, and as you said, there's language barrier, there may be semantics, there may be different characters mentioned that you won't say somewhere else, but in the gist of it, you can see where there's the origin of it has there's an African presence there. Like for example, if you look at when Muslims make Hajj and they wear the ihram garb, it's a white garb, and they go to Zamzam, the well of Zamzam. There's water, white cloth, white garb is something that's typically very African based. There's you make mention of certain people. I used to be a Salafi, so I was Salafi for a big part of my life up until probably about 6 years ago. And before I actually left Islam, I had as well as Salafi intervention. it's about Sufis, you pointed out Salafis, and it was I really respected that. A lot of people don't dabble into, because a lot of people aren't informed on that. They just as, oh, that's just Arab, and they leave it very blank, and not realizing that the Aqidah in these different or practices, there's difference of opinion on Tawheed, and one of the things I bring up, one of the things that made me leave Islam was just that in particular, like the Salafis, Islam is a knowledge-based religion, and they will tell you not to follow the sheikhs blindly. However, they do follow the sheikhs blindly in a lot of ways. And there's an ayah in the Quran where Allah says, do not be like the Jews who took their rabbis as lords, and do not be like the Christians who took their monks as lords. But there's a lot of Muslims who take their scholars as lords, where they will take that to the point that they will take the opinions, because at the end of the day, no matter what perspective of Islam you follow, you are following the opinion of those scholars. And so one of the biggest, a lot of people who take tafsir from Ibn Kathir, one of the prominent scholars of the past, it's noted by Ibn Kathir that he stated, whoever says that the Prophet did not see Allah is a kafir. And so there's many different perspectives of Islam dealing with the various beliefs. So there is Muslims, not just what has formulated in America since the 1930s, meaning like the Nation of Islam, the Nation of Gaza Earth, or the Moorish Science of America. But there, and even going way before that with Sufis, it was something that was actually believed by the early Muslims. And when I say early Muslims, that's what was, and there was a disagreement amongst the Sahabas to that. This is something that the imams or the students of knowledge are not going to discuss to the layman. And I was quite amazed when I came across this information, and I was quite amazed to know how many Salafis that have studied in Medina or Mecca, there's agreement amongst between Ibn Abbas and Aisha as to whether Allah was anthropomorphic or in spirit. And so that particular heat, whether you say Allah is unseen or Allah is a man, one belief in Islam, Tawheed. So if you say he's not unseen, you're saying that he's in us or he's in man, the understanding or the perception of Allah changes. So when you look at Kitab al-Tawheed, when you read a book like that, and it's a good book, but when you read something like that, which was Kitab al-Tawheed was written by Imam Wahab, when you read that perspective, you're left to believe that Allah is unseen, that we can't comprehend Allah, and that basically that the strings that's being pulled. Like, we have free will, but Allah is just this God that we would just never comprehend, that there's no kind of relationship between man and creator. But it's just a very interesting conversation, and I was very surprised. It grabbed my attention very fast, and I wanted to thank you. I really enjoyed hearing what I got to hear.
That's beautiful, my brother. We give thanks, man. We give thanks. I also have to give thanks to my co-panel hosts as well, Osar, my brother Phil Taylor as well, and also my brother Gabs, who is dropping that medicine. I know my brother Gabs is trying to jump in, so if there's anybody who would like to jump out, please do so he can jump in. Otherwise,
yeah, I'm jumping out.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, quite a few people jumped out.
I understand. It's
All right, so we've got a medicine man in here. That's excellent. All right, cool. Now let's get it in and popping, man. I'm not gonna be here much because you know what? I need to hold a little meditation and regain some energy. So what I'm gonna say right now is we're gonna open it up to have some more conversations. So y'all gotta drop us topics. I know you've been asking in the comment section down there what topics we'll be discussing. What I want to discuss is whatever you want to discuss. This is what we're here. This is what Talk with the Titans is all about. Is actually getting what you want, and we're gonna present it to you. Whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to hear more information about, just simply ask away, and we will present it to you if it's in our power and capability to actually present it. So let me see who we got in here. All right, we got a nice panel. So we've got a nice panel. Family, let me see. What's the like saying as well? What's the like saying? All right, cool. Come on, man. Get the likes up, family. Let's get the likes up. Please. My Siki brother Harry, I know you had some questions. I know you're in the comment section right now. Please drop some questions. And when you're dropping these questions, please just tag Titans TV so it helps me to actually spot it. So we've got Uhuru saying some Kemetic science in regards to nature. Jeez. All right. We can see what we can do for that. It says, can you be pro-black but have a non-black partner? Ooh. All right, it's going in. So, they're dropping a couple of topics. Did you come from nothing? Yeah, all right. So let me know, family. Let me know. I'm going to open it up to my panel, my co-panel members. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm all down. I'm all ears to listen to. I may not be here all the time, but I'm going to be listening in the same way.
Let me do a little bit with the brother, as he was saying, when just to kind of give Muslims the visual, this is Tafsir Ibn Kathir. But all right, this is as a Salafi, as a former Salafi, these are your tools. The Noble Quran, not just any, the Noble Quran, because when you go to the bottom of it, it has what? It has explanations of each ayah, or not every single one, but the ayah from Ibn Tafsir, from the trusted and the Sahih al-Bukhari hadith, from here, which you need in particular. They like this version, Salam al-Riyad, which my brother Abu Turki, who was here in America, who was locked up, he had a slave out here. And this is when I used to help him run Dar as-Salam, So these are the books, but a book that you need so you can get on the same page, Arabic verb, right there by Imam Qasim Ahmed. This will start to get you on the same page as us, so that we start to see alike. Original Sin, Abu Muslima, etc. Abu Dawood, who used to run with my partner Halil. If you're going to be Muslim and you're going to be on that type of plight, you need to get more studied. Come over here. The Remech have something to say to you, so that if you do decide to go over there, you'll get a good comprehension and understanding.
Jeez, all right. Come on, family. Y'all got to keep it flowing, man. Jump in, man. When one man tags out, another man tags in. Let's get it.
I'm gonna give them that medicine to agree with what both the brothers said. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that if you are a monotheist or a polytheist, you also practice monotheism. So the idea of Tawheed, one God, one deity, one idol, Do you get what I'm saying? Which is the current theme throughout these biblical books, that each prophet or thing took an idol of his choosing or of his culture or of his tribe, do you get what I'm saying? And made that the one deity or the one God. Do you get what I'm saying? So there was no difference between the Muslims and thing, because all this Allah talk, they really have to know where the concept came from. I mean, we as Kemetans, we gave them the concept of all of it. Do you get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I mean, every time I'm talking to them and they're like, oh yeah, but yeah, you know, there's fantastic miracles in the Quran and blah, blah, blah. But you don't explain to me why the Prophet went to a cave to meditate in the lotus position. Why? You don't explain those things. You get what I'm saying? You don't explain why Alat and Allah are lunar deities with statues or idols made of them. Do you get what I'm saying? These are things that are thing. You don't. They don't explain why. Obviously, Muhammad would take a deity of his tribe and thing or their idol and make that the one God. Do you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, no one knows the name of the creator according to these texts. They can only all give attributes. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, the 99 names are no names. Do you get what I'm saying? The source, the yielder, the merciful, these are attributes. Do you get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, when they come to us with their religious concept, and remember this supposed Islam comes out of Christianity and Judaism, or Hebrew Israelites, you know, information and Kemetic, primarily, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the Gabriel or Geb that they're talking about, where they got the concept of the word, do you get what I'm saying? Comes from Kemetic. So, you know, one of the 9 needs, but, you know, we don't want to give them too much medicine. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't cast pearls amongst swine. So we just going to leave it like that for the minute. You get what I'm saying?
God damn.
Yo.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they
just
ask
to,
you for that medicine.
yo, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, King.
Yeah, but sorry, just to piggyback on what my brother Nat Ifa was saying, yeah. And I wanna understand this whole attributes things, what people keep asserting is Allah's attributes. First and foremost, these attributes, yeah, we could even say that it's Allah's, because the attributes of powerful, mercy, love, and stuff, we can't see that from this deity. We can't see this deity show these things. The only time we can see these things is in our nature and in our environment. Do you see what I'm saying? So your nature and your environment is where you see mercy, love, strength, power. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's why they say, well, the power that you experience in nature and in your environment is nothing like Allah's. Nothing like that, because we can't know Allah's attributes. Do you know what I mean? Everybody here, most of the men here, or most of the boys here, or girls, women here that's played any games, when someone's player profile comes up, a best football player, like let's talk about like Ronaldo, if you know about football, Ronaldo. When you type up someone like Ronaldo on a game, yeah, what will come up? His attributes. What's his best attributes? One of his attributes would be dribbling. One of his attributes would be shooting from long range. Another attribute would be he's got skills, quick feet. Do you see what I'm saying? So you know how to play that player, where to play him. Same with baseball characters, NFL players, anything. Because you know the attributes of the player, their strengths or take. So then now, and that's because we've seen those players in action and we've seen their attributes, so we know what their strengths and weaknesses. But when it comes to these attributes that so-called Allah has, where can we see this character by the name of Allah, or this deity by the name of Allah? Where can we see his attributes at play? Where can we see him show mercy? Where can we see him show love? Where can we see him have strength? Where can we see these things? Because the only way you're going to actually see these things is in the nature. It's only in nature and your environment. That's it. You know strength from the time when your dad told you not to do something and you didn't listen and he gave you a hit upside your head. You know strength the first time you seen someone lift 100 and something kg in a bench press. Do you see what I'm saying? You know love the first time you fell in love, supposedly in love with a girl at school. Do you see what I'm saying? All these attributes is what you then experience in your environment and nature. So I just want to know is where do they have the right to say these are the attributes of Allah when we can't see, or we can't even see, or he can't show that these attributes belong to him? That's all. If anybody wants to chime in on that.
Jeez. All right, family. All right, let me just jump in real quickly because I'm just seeing nobody ain't jumping in. You know what? Yeah, my brother Harry Singh is asking a very profound question. He was asking quite a few questions actually, which is powerful still. He says, how can one become one with nature from the Kemetic perspective and apply that in their life while still remaining Muslim, Hindu, or Sikh? Okay. How can one become one with nature from the Kemetic perspective and apply that in their life while still remaining Muslim, Hindu, or Sikh? Please, I need the help for that. I need the medicine for that. And I want to...
Yeah, because... sorry, I just want to say on the back of that, like, what's the take on various other religions in the light of the Kemetic understanding? So, like, how do you see these other religions sort of thing?
Perfect.
Is it just false from the get-go, or are you saying elements are true, and in which case...
No.
I've got you. This one I'm going to go to Assad, then we're going to go to Gabs, and then, let's see if that should be good enough. All right, go ahead, King. Go ahead, Assad.
To answer my brother, I'll answer them in order in which they came. To my brother Harry Singh, who's with me all the time, it's what I read earlier. I am he in this name. Make way for me that I may see Noon and Amun. I am that equipped spirit. I'm a spirit who passed by the guards. They don't speak for fear of him whose name is hidden, who is in my body. I'm one with the hidden one. I'm one with the nature. I know him. I do not ignore him. I am equipped and effective portal. Now, I say that because we're one with nature. We're one with God. We're one with the creation. We're one with the establishment for my atheist. But we don't have a problem with the other societies because there was a tax paid to us. Remember, King Checkerball of the Persians used to pay the remech for their religion. Amun, a statue of Amun was given to him. The Greeks, I read this the other day. Amun is Amun Zeus. Amunhotep is Amenophis in Greece. And Hair is Anoris in Greece. And Pu is Anubis in Greece. And it goes on, and I can name pretty much all of them. Is Menegus in Greece. Paket is Artemis in Greece. Sa is Orion in Greece. So they paid the tax as well. So we know the tax records. We know how they were set up. And what we would do, which you'll see we did with the Hyksos or the Hyksos, when they came over, Apophis, and we added Set. Set was actually already there. They latched onto him from the Kenti Henofer, the Nubians, the Nahesi. But Apophis, they latched onto him. We latched their nature onto them. They paid a tax for that. So we've always had good kith and kin because we've always been the establisher of your spirituality systems. So there's never been a problem with us.
Beautiful, my brother. Beautiful. Gabs, did you want to add anything to that? Hold on. We got somebody called Ammon. Who's Ammon? Ammon? Who's that? Okay, I'm going to mute your mic then.
Yo, bro. Yeah, sorry. Just to add on to what the brother Sal was saying and to answer the brother's question. Yeah, bro. This is the thing. And this is what we've been dealing with. I mean, I've been saying this in the park, especially the Speaker's Corner, for the longest now. We don't have no issue. There's no issue with any of these religions at all, except for you'll see that for some reason, well, not all religions, one particular religion, I'll say Islam, seems to have an issue with us and what we're saying. But we don't have an issue. The only thing which we're trying to make people understand and which we're trying to say is to give credit where it's due. That's all. Give credit where it's due. Like, understand where most of your stuff, most of your sciences, most of your teachers come from. That's all we're saying. Deal with the root and the origin. That's all. No one ain't saying this is that and this and that, because there's nothing in the Kemetic philosophy that's saying, listen, if these men are false, then they're going to burn in hell like all these other things. You know what I mean? You're going to Jannah. These men are kafars. You guys, we don't have all these sayings. It's dealing with knowledge and education. Do you see what I'm saying? Better yourself. So,
guys, what? Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. What are you gonna say? Go on.
No. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like a matter of truth. I know you're saying like to all the other religions, yeah, you can do your thing, but essentially if it's not true, then why would you want them to do their own thing? Because wouldn't you want to bring someone to the truth, essentially? Because you're saying what you understand is the truth, so wouldn't you want to bring someone towards that? Why would you sort of not care that next man is actually following something that's just false?
No, because remember, this is the thing now.
It's just set up for your culture, so it's to your liking. So a lot of times the Allah, which you eventually started to take somewhere else with different measures, because you won't find Tawheed in the Quran. You won't find that word there. It's not in there. But you find the supposed concept of it. But then you have to skip over a few surahs and ayahs in order to make it true. So all this was derived for you to have the same fit in your own culture. It never transfigured. I was just showing the brothers some astrology. You probably should check into Arabic astrology and astronomy so you can understand the Arabic sky. You can understand your ancestors' sky and how they looked at it.
Yeah, I'm not a Muslim, so I'm not coming from like a Muslim perspective or anything. If anything, I'd be coming from the Christian perspective. But you know,
let me ask you a question, bro. It's like this. Just to go on what Asar was saying. This is the thing, yeah. Remember, the philosophy and the stories and the sciences that was made from Kemet or in that landmass, yeah, is dealing with that environment. They educated themselves in their environment, so they had to use whatever resources in their environment. Yeah, that's what they used to tell their stories and make their sciences. Now, if someone is in the environment of if someone's in the environment of the jungle, yeah, you got vegetation, you got certain animals, certain plant life, certain sun. You know what I mean? A certain sun that comes up. You know, things are different. So like compared to someone who's someone in the jungle compared to someone who's living in I don't know, the Arctic region.
City, yeah. Okay.
Do you understand? Their way of thinking, their way of thinking is going to be different. Their sciences and their culture is going to be different to yours because they're going to have different animals. They're going to have different plants, different foods, different water, different sunlight. So whereas we would say Amun Ra or Ra in Kemet, their sun, they could have a different name because it's less powerful. The sun might not be the main thing over there. It could be the snow or the water or, you know what I mean? Something else. But what happened is whereas in those days, in ancient times, people saw how grand Kemet was when they came over there. Everybody wanted to take bits and pieces from the education, from the school, from Harvard, from, you know what I mean? Just call it the Yale or the Harvard of the world. Everybody wanted to come and take knowledge. So when they took the knowledge and brought it back to their culture, they mixed it. They're still going to have to mix it with their same culture. And that's where you get some bits that make sense, but some bits ain't going to make no sense because they've added in their own culture to somebody else's culture and their stories. You see what I'm saying? Just like, let's take, for instance, Michael Jackson has a song. Then how many years later you have another artist, I don't know, Usher takes that song, uses part of Michael Jackson stuff, but uses whole word. Like, you know what I mean? People do that. Copyright, they take it. But all we're saying is pay homage to the master.
All right. If you're going to apply it, all right, take the Old Testament, for example. So you'd basically say, like, Moses got the information from Kemet and then obviously started off the Judeo-Christian way of thinking from that.
100%. Because look, watch this. And what you're saying is, I'm glad you even mentioned that. Because we know, especially in the story of the Christian, Moses was educated for 40 years under the wisdom and the teachings of the Remet, the Kemet, the people from Kemet. Now, 40 years of hard education system. So he would have known about astrology, astronomy, the stars, the planets, the nature, all the deities.
No, I hear that.
All these things. Now,
even the ability to just read and write.
Yeah, I remember. Supposedly, these people were enslaved, so they weren't going to get the best of educations and stuff going on, would they? So the only
he was born in a royal household. So yeah.
Yes. So then his people, supposedly the children, the children of Israel, the Israelites, they wouldn't have had the same education that he had. That's why it says Moses was educated with wisdom and powerful indeed. So when he now leaves, once you now leave, yes, and you have someone who's been educated and is mighty in words and in deeds, isn't his information the one that he's gonna have to teach to those new people that didn't know this stuff?
Yeah, but then are we now saying that he's got that information? See, if you take the story of Moses, it's all good, like, you know, sort of taking parts of the story to sort of explain it. But then essentially, my man spoke to God, isn't it? So if are we saying that what he wrote has come from that, from what God has given him, or from the understanding he's got from 40 years of learning?
I'm telling you that exactly. So this is the issue now. Joe, if someone's educated for 40 years, knows how to read and write, understand, knows obviously got taught about creation stories prior, got taught about laws prior, ma'at, got taught about judgment day prior, yeah, all these things, got taught about the heavens and the earth prior, yeah, and the stars, yeah, and now all of a sudden you see that he's now said he's in the text, it says he spoke to God. And all of a sudden, he's bringing the same information, talking about creation, talking about flood, talking about the star system and Orion and all this stuff in Job, talking about all these things that he got, which was in the place where he was educated. Now, it sounds good when you say, oh, it was God that taught him. He spoke to God. But then isn't it? No, but there's no proof of that. But the main proof that you had where he could have got that from is right there in your face. It's in Kemet. The stories are there prior, way before he was born. It was there.
Yeah, but Moses also went on to go say some next things, obviously, like the foretelling of Jesus and stuff like that, to go a bit deeper in that. So obviously, if Kemet doesn't have that kind of sort of ending, so to speak, then they're two separate stories.
It does, you know.
No, because let me tell you, this is what's happened. Yeah,
Gabs, Gabs, real quickly, secretly, it does, you know. He actually has the story of the Son of Man, the prodigal Messiah-like king that will return from the south, come from the south to save the people. So it has the story
die, sort of thing, die, because essentially that's what, you know, that is the crux of Christianity, isn't it? So if that isn't true, then obviously Christianity is false.
The story of Jesus dying on the cross for your sins is kind of like the story of Osiris, you know, being killed, and he's now the god of resurrection, etc., etc. Yeah. So it's you know, it's all there. I'm not even going to lie to you. It is actually kind of all there already.
Okay. So whose account would you then sort of move towards? Wouldn't you then go with someone whose account is sort of more verified? Because I even yours has been verified. I get with the hieroglyphs and stuff, and it's told in an ancient way. But when you go then with the newer version, obviously, if Moses is speaking of what was told of old, then wouldn't you take Moses' account as a better version to follow?
No, it's a version. Remember, Moses' version is for a certain group of people.
That's my point, yeah.
And a certain group of people only. He's teaching them in a manner, in a way that they can actually understand. Are you with me? So it's for those groups of people. You know, Hear, O Israel, your Lord thy God is one. He's talking to Israelites and trying to teach them these particular ways in a very simplified, easy way to actually understand. But then you have another group of people that understand it on a very higher level. You know, you have people like Jethro, for example, from a biblical standpoint, which was his grandfather from the land of Cush, from the Ethiopia, who he married his daughter Zipporah to. You know, he had a way, you know, he actually educated Moses to a certain degree and taught him how to do certain things, you know, and there was a big conversation in the Talmud about this when Yeshua or Jesus brought this up, you know, he's like, who's the most wisest man or something like that, you know, and he was saying, is it the teacher or the student? And then everybody says it has to be the teacher. And you say, no, so who's the wisest teacher? It has to be Moses. But even Moses was taught by somebody else. Who was Moses taught? He was taught by Jethro. He taught you how to do this and that and that and that. So there was always other groups of people, other societies that set up with their own governing system that could have been much more advanced than Moses' system, but it wouldn't benefit them to go into that system because they're not prepared to go into that system. So Moses had to develop his own system for a particular group of people called the Israelites.
I was going to add something for you, brother Stan, just to make it a little more simple and biblical for you.
Okay.
When you talk Moses, you talk about who he uses to utilize his message, and it's always who.
Who Moses uses?
Aaron.
Aaron.
Now he always goes to Joshua, the son of Nun, huh?
Okay.
That's the story, right? Who circumcises and orders the men to be circumcised again when they're on Mount Gilgal?
Okay, to be honest, in all honesty, I couldn't tell you right now with certainty, but I'll go with what you're saying.
It's Joshua. I
know Joshua was there. Obviously, Joshua was the one who led them into the land of Israel, isn't it?
Right. That's who said all the men of war and who are from Egypt, and they are from Egypt, your sons will become circumcised on the Mount of Gilgal, and I roll back the reproach of Egypt from you. So basically, you're dealing with Egyptian sons. Their fathers are in the wilderness, and what makes them Israelites is that they cut the hem of their penis. They do circumcision on the mountain, and you doing that circumcision by God, who you eventually call Amen, that's what makes you an Israelite.
Yeah, but essentially they're doing it to stop associating themselves with Egyptians, though. So they obviously see that they don't want to be part of that society for a reason.
Right. But let me ask you this: if I ask you, if you're right now you're a Christian, and all of a sudden you decide to be a Muslim or whatever religion, maybe if I tell you to cut a piece of foreskin off your body, does that make you now the new religion? Or does that change your lineage physically? Does that change your lineage?
To be honest, I don't understand exactly the question. So could you rephrase it?
Absolutely. So let's make it more simple. Where are you from? Where are you from?
So India.
So you're from India, and if I tell you to cut your foreskin to be Ethiopian, and you cut your foreskin to be Ethiopian, does that make you Ethiopian by DNA or by spirituality?
Spirituality.
Right. So you're still Egyptian at the end of the day. So when we talk Moses and we talk Moses' story, it's always going through Joshua, the son of Nun. He always relies on another Egyptian.
When you say they were always Egyptian, what do you mean by they were always Egyptian? As in,
well, we just covered that on the Mount Gilgal. All their fathers were Egyptian men of war. The only thing that turns them into Israelites is the circumcision.
Yeah, but there's obviously a time before they actually entered Egypt. They only entered Egypt through Joseph.
Right, but when they enter Egypt, they're men.
They weren't in Egypt from the start. They were obviously in another part, probably another part of Africa or another part of the world, basically, but instead of Egypt. So when you say they were already Egyptian,
right?
They weren't.
You don't have an actual story for that. You don't have a primary resource. We do. So if we look at where they come from and we use Manito, we see that they're men from the east. And if we take Amos, the son of Ibana, who actually lived, they came in, they were of Hyksos residents. They happened to steal some gold. The Egyptians didn't try to fight them at first. Eventually they did. And when they did, they drove them to Avaris. They created the treaty. We squashed the beef, and we allowed 240,000 of them to walk out. That's an actual story.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard that story. I've never go from the biblical.
Go do your due diligence. Go check out Manito.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
And go check out Amos, son of Ibana. I'm going to drop his tomb in the side chat for you.
Okay, wicked. Yeah, that's it. I'll leave it there if someone else wants to take over. That's cool.
All right, come on, family. Let's keep it flowing because, boy, I'm here. I'm about to sleep, G. So y'all, come on, man. Come on, real quickly. Before I go to bed, let me just quickly see what's going on over here in the comment section. Shouts out to my brother Ansir. Got exactly mind, exactly just. Science and math is Kemetic philosophy. Egyptians are not Christians, that's BS. Common sense in the sun, just like so-called science. Yo, Kalam, I got questions. Mr. Singh, go ahead, King. Drop your questions.
Yeah, yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just two brothers on the panel. To the Kemites. How does one receive revelation from the divine or nature or God, whatever we call it?
Jeez, you're asking that big boy question finally, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if anybody else would like to answer before I make my answer.
Go ahead, B. I feel like I've been talking too much. And I answered this question for Harry before, but go ahead, go ahead.
Oh man, I'm trying to palm it off. I'm tired, G. All right, Gabs. All right, cool. My body. All through my body. Let's see. What can I bring up for you today, Harry? All right. Let's see if I get some reading going on. Let me get some reading going on.
You want to bring up the prophecies of Nefertari, how the priest had his visions through the dream? Or...
Go ahead, King. Yeah, about to drop some.
I'm trying to just throw some joints out for you to kind of grab from. It's
Yeah, before you go into that, to the guy in the comment, you all may stop talking shit in the comments and come on the lines then if you want to have a debate.
Choo! Oh man.
He said he said, can we ask Mr. Singh his thoughts on cow urine? Come on, G. What the fuck?
Family show, watch your language, man. Look.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad, G.
No problem. For me, first and foremost, from the Kemetic way of doing things, and I'm gonna talk it from a Hekeneche way of doing things. Or let me talk from that type of way of doing things rather than just a general sense of actually doing it. First of all, you need to belong to a house of life. Y'all need to belong to some form of system. That's the first way. If you're asking me, belong to one or another form of system. Join a spiritual system if it's possible. Okay, join a spiritual system, because what you're talking right now goes beyond the realms of what we would be talking about in terms of science, as in the natural world, physical science that majority of us talking about, even though it's all part of the natural world. Then it's going past the realms of philosophy to a certain extent, and it's actually entering into the side of the spiritual system. Okay, it's actually entering into the realms of spiritual system, because obviously we deal with the empirical. Remember, we talked about 3 realms of knowledge. The empirical, which is really and truly to do with more like the scientific method to a certain degree. And then you have also the logical side of things. The logical side of things. I framed it so nicely before, using your intelligence, your logic, your rational, your reasoning, and so forth. That's more to do with the philosophical side of doing things. Again, I'm tired. I'm late. Sorry. Forgive me. Then there's the third way, which is the Wahi, which I talked from a Islamic point of view, which is to do with inspiration or revelations. And really and truly, you will have to join a spiritual school to actually prep you. And this is from my journeys. So I'm going to speak from my journeys, and knowing that you have to be part of these particular schools of thought in order to be prepared to receive revelation. Okay, in order to be prepared to receive revelation, you all need to go through these things here. And let me speak again. So let me speak. So I would say, if you want to learn some of these things here, go to these books here. So the Hermetica speaks profoundly about it as well. Go to the Hermetica and you can learn a little bit of it as well. Also, if you're coming from a Hebraic, Jewish, or Christian perspective, in here as well, it will teach you how to become a prophet or how to receive revelations as well. Okay, these are different tools that you definitely need to be able to utilize. And of course, definitely, you want to get into that real hard book core Kemet side of things. The Book of Thoth, or the Book of Jehuti, will give you another enlightening way of getting in touch with that side of things. In that particular book, or in spiritual systems by itself, you need to be part of something. You need to be able to be initiated. You need to be able to keep your word and make your word be your bond, because you need to be how can I put it, trialed, tested, and educated on certain principles. The number one principles is your moral system. Okay, before we're even going to give you access to revelatory powers, before you get access to revelatory powers, you need to make sure that your moral system is in check. One of the first tests that is to make sure that you're in check is, number one, you're not too brash. You're not too rash, should I say. You're not too rash. You're not going to go running off to tell the whole world what you've learned. You with me? All right. And you're not going to be so slow or niggardly, should I say. Okay. And, being standoffish and being concealing and not actually wanting to reveal certain things that you do actually have. You need to be able to walk via that golden mean. Okay. You need to be able to walk via that golden mean. You need to be able to walk via the balancement, via those scales of mad. You need to work on your ethic systems or your virtues itself. So you need to know about your vices, and you need to know about your virtues, and you need to be able to overcome your vices and make sure you are a virtuous individual. The next stage after that, once you're able to work on your moral side of things, you now need to work on your intellectual faculties. Okay, you need to work on your intellectual faculties. That is both sides or both hemispheres of the brain. Okay, both hemispheres of the brain. You need to work on your logical side, and you need to work on your creative side, or your emotional side and your rational side. You need to work on both hemispheres. If you go into the schools of Kemet and you see you have something called the uraeus, okay, the uraeus, which is the snakes on top of the forehead. Okay, it basically alarms you to the fact that we have two hemispheres on our brain. One tends to be a snake, yeah, and the other one is a vulture. The two sometimes it's the nechebet and the wajet, or sometimes you see two snakes. But usually speaking, when we're talking about this, we're talking about the snake, which is dealing with the cold-blooded reptilian side of things, which deals with being on the floor on a down level, and its motion is in a sharp striking fashion. That's letting you know you've got to deal with linear thought. Okay, so once you've mastered the linear thought, you move on to the right-hand side of the brain, which is to do with the circular way of understanding, or it's your emotions, your creativity, being able to visualize and bringing that into manifestation. So that usually is the vulture. The vulture you see works in a very circular motion. It's also it also is in the air as well. So we're looking at the opposites, being in the air, being warm-blooded and so forth. And actually when it's, getting its prey, it's circling in the air and then swooping down and coming up and coming back out again. So you need to be able to work on both hemispheres of your brain. You need to be able to utilize inductive logic, and you also need to be able to utilize deductive logic. You need to be able to visualize. You need to be able to draw. You need to be able to do all of these different things. You need to be able to sound out stuff. You need to be able to sing. All these things that works on the creative side. Once you got both hemispheres of your brain intact and in control, now you're being able to be inducted into what it is to have abductive reasoning. We've talked about inductive reasoning, deductive reasoning. You're going to learn about abductive reasoning, where you can tap into that celestial realm, so to speak. You with me? I'm tired, family. I'm tired, but I'm going to try to drop you as much jewels as possible. Okay.
He got you. You good. Come to the per ankh.
Fantastic. And then after then, you go into the chambers of darkness. Let me just quickly read out to you. I've told you a lot about my dark room before. These talks here I don't usually do on these type of open shows.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
He's gonna make it in that coffin of the Tsar. He's gonna cover the lid. He's gonna open it up. They're gonna be talking to you. You're gonna be blindfolded. You're gonna have to trust. But you gotta come to the Parak. You gotta come see.
There you go. You have to. My brother just breaking that ish down holy, So there you go. You got here the ritual of entering into the chamber of darkness. The master says, while they lack a son, they give birth to by means of your utterance. They will be great in four sides. All right. You're right. Sorry. My bad. Let me jump that real quickly. Yeah, because I'm dropping that higher science here where really and truly it shouldn't be opened up.
True baptism.
You know, let me do it from a Islamic framework. Then let me fall back a little bit so you can understand what is going on. You go into that chamber of darkness, which we call the cavern. Okay, you need to be able to go to the caves, my brother. You need to be able to shut off your senses from the external world, my brother. You need to be able to be placed in a position of complete darkness and trust with your fellow candidates. Okay, number one, and also the people that are conducting those rituals. Okay, and when that blindfolded is lifted up after you've prepared yourself in the antechamber or a room adjoining the, I won't say the rest, but once you've been properly prepared and conducted inwards, and those blindfolders are lifted up off you, and you've been presented into the light, and you're told to read, you're told to ikra. You're told to ikra. What is on that? You're told to. Anyways, and that type of revelatory powers will come to you. You know, that light being will come to you, and that information, that inspiration will come to you. But again, we speak in code. We speak in cryptic codes. So a lot of these people that have been initiated into these special spiritual sciences, they'll come back and give you a how can I put it? A myth, a foundation myth, as Plato talks about in his Republic, and talking about in the caves and so forth. He tells you that you need to start it off with a mythology, because you can't elucidate. We can't. You see how my brother Asaz just stopped me straight away? I can't even talk it to you straight how I'm supposed to talk it to you, because y'all ain't initiated. So we have to speak in cryptic codes. That's what we're talking about when you hear a lot of the talks about angels coming and all these different types of, squeezing three times. You're like, huh? What's that about? 1, 2, 3. Why is it always numbers to do with 3? Onto the point of death? What's that about? I reached the point of death and I came back to life again. What's all that about? So, we have to speak in cryptic code, and unfortunately it's late right now. I can't talk that talk. Okay, family, I'm going to, defer it to somebody else to come in and talk, because I'm tired. Love. Peace.
Your respect for that still, you're breaking it down. I'm not going to lie, yo, some of this shit's deep, man. It's going over my head, but I'm trying to grab onto the little pieces I understand. But yeah, anyone can add on to that. I'm willing to listen still. Need them gems.
We need more. I will just bring up the papyrus of Nefertiti, which prophesies about a king coming from the south, which you can regard as Taharka, and you can find him in the Bible. So he's the same guy that saved Israel. So you can see the connection between our prophecies, which comes to reality. Actually, a king from the south came and saved Israel, and it was prophesied a few hundred years before his coming. So that's what I'm gonna add to the conversation.
Hold on, real quickly, Lorenzo Diaz. I apologize. Today I gotta be a kafir. I've got to be a kafir, and I gotta conceal those books still. I can't even reveal. I've got to heal and conceal and never reveal. Apologize.
What was that though, G?
I apologize.
What was that though?
Y'all can ask me as much as you like, but I got to apologize.
Yeah, you got to bring those books out in the after show still. No, I know you can't do it live, but...
You said the Book of Caverns, Kalam, so let me show the Book of Caverns at least. This way y'all can start to get familiar with what you need to have around you.
Make sure you share your screen, G. Make sure you share your screen. And again, Brother Ahmed, what you saying, King? I've been missing you, no homo. Been missing you. Where you at, King?
Yes, family, yes. I was wondering when I was going to get my welcome, man.
But your volume is so low. Your volume is low, King.
My bad. Can you not hear me now?
It's still low, but I can hear you.
I'll come back in a sec. Let me fix this.
All right. I was going to up your mic still.
You see this book here?
Yeah.
The Awakening of the Asar. Transit of the solar barks. You don't even know what a solar bark is. You see this book here? This is the book of the earth. The ancient book of the earths. That's where
Jeez,
you're gonna find your caverns.
we are not worthy. We are not worthy. God damn. Get him, boy.
This $100 book. This we're going into the 100. I ain't gonna pull out no $5,000 book. I'm just saying, you need to know, you need to understand the text. Hold on, let me get pictures. We do pictures. Let me see. When you start to get into the caverns, Joshua Aaron Robinson will say this one is, but you start to get into the caverns, then when you really go there, what you're gonna need have no English in it. It ain't gonna have no English in it. Let me show you what that looks like, right? Where is it at? Where is it at? Here you go.
You know, Asar's per Anki's library is mad crazy, fam. God damn.
Book of the Earth and things.
This ain't gonna have no English in it. This ain't gonna have no English. Make you really talk to me, right? Because I can't. If you're gonna get on a higher plane, we ain't gonna keep talking. We can't keep talking in English. Always let me talk to my Black Power people for a minute. You're always talking about the white man made this slang, the white man. But I can't talk to you if I say Sal Bono, when on Johnny, you don't even got the clicks. You don't know nothing. You don't want to pick up the book. Pick up the book or go talk to your people. Quit playing. I done talked to everybody on this panel in their language for at least 2 seconds.
You know when they say when they say drop the mic. Listen, I'm trying to throw this mic. I'm trying to get out of here, man. God damn. Oh, God. Yeah. Continue, man. Continue. Jeez.
Forget dropping the mic. Throw the mic.
That was some deep knowledge. I never saw those books in my life. Damn it. Wow.
Yeah, man, those books thick.
Powers, G. Powers. That's what I'm gonna say to you. Powers. But yo, let me get Ahmed, and I want to get my brother Omar involved as well, because I ain't heard your voices enough yet. Hold on, let me just quickly do this.
Mic check. Nah, it still don't look good, man.
Don't worry. Let me get you, King. Let me get you. Let's see. Where is Ahmed? Say something. Say something now.
Mic check.
Carry on.
Yo, it looked good for a second.
There you go.
How about now?
Yeah, I've upped your volume high.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to scream?
No, you're good. Talk to us then.
Yeah, hot topic, man. Hot topic. I feel like I came in a bit late, but yeah, I'll catch up in it. I'm trying to find my way in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You can start off a new topic, man. We're good with it. We're bouncing.
Give me a through ball.
All right. What you saying, man? We brought up something the other day, and you was gonna come back to me. I want to know. Did you have that information yet?
Bro, I don't remember 5 minutes ago, my dude.
God damn. We was talking about the hellfire, and we was talking about the 3 different tests.
We went bare places the other day, but I'll tell you what though, man. I just remembered something. Earlier on, you put up a video. I think you was talking about the something from nothing, and something must come from the infinite source itself. And I found that to be a hot topic, man. Gabs has said it many a times. I don't know if you know my position.
I swear the other day you even agreed with me, you know.
But I'm surprised to hear that there are people that disagree with you.
Jeez! Blood. All right. Hey, yo, drop the science, G. Drop
Depends
it.
how far you've gone since I last spoke to you, though.
Drop it. Let me hear what you're saying,
But
man.
I'm with you still. Nah. At the end of the day, since Allah is all that there was, everything that came after Him must only have come from Him. It just
Jeez, yo. You can hear me?
Yeah.
You standing on that?
I mean, He's all that exists. So for anything to come to existence,
oh my!
Come from that which exists.
What we hearing?
Right.
Oh, buddy.
No, but wait, I'm confused. Seriously, what? There's a disagreement with that,
Bro.
I'm just saying, is that you? Yeah.
Bro, we've been arguing this for the longest.
No, but didn't I just body that late night the other day?
But I don't know. Some of your fellow brothers, I don't think share the same view as you, bro.
Family, my brothers are
I don't know. Ahmed sounds a little bit confused.
Oh.
Huh?
Someone said you sound confused.
Who said that?
That was me, Omar.
Omar, here we go. This is my new brother. You don't know this brother, you know.
What did
hold on. 1 minute. Gabs.
Yo.
Do you not remember? We was chatting late night. Last man standing in the park. Me, you, Kalim, and then one of your brothers, and that was it. And I was with my brother.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you know who this is now. Yeah, you sure?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
The one that is mad animated, G.
Is he another Muslim brother?
Yeah.
What's your stance, family?
My stance is, first and foremost, so let me say something real quick. Yeah, like, one, it's late, so when we're talking, like, earlier on, like, we was talking for like at least 10 minutes there. Careful when it's like super cryptic, because I'm trying to catch what was actually said, and the last 10 minutes was so cryptic. It was like a crazy conversation, but okay. Just be aware now, yeah. Like, for us outsiders that don't know anything, like, we can't read your minds. You don't be talking, but yeah. Drop something, like, say a full sentence. Okay, anyway.
Ancient wisdom, we speak in cryptic codes. Oh man. We iconic in the field like Solomon's seal. Oh man. Anyways.
I thought I was in the crypto factor for 1 second, right quick, but you know, I'm here still. Okay, so look, back to this subject. Yeah, my stance is, yeah, that we're not the same material as this being, the creator. Not the same material. His material doesn't reside in this universe. The actual material of him, I'm saying, his attributes, 100%, yeah. That's my stance, money.
I don't say we possess his material, bro. Please.
Oh, that's what you were saying, brother. That's what these lot thought you were saying. That's why I go, do you stand on that?
Nah.
Okay, well, Gabs, what's good? Where's the medicine at, money?
Okay, hello. So this is what I need to understand.
We're not confused, money. We stand in exactly, you know what I mean?
Okay.
In line with each other.
That's fine. So the material, where is it you suppose the material came from?
Okay, so now this is what it is, yeah. First of all, do you see how me and Ahmed, mashallah, we're exactly in the same mind frame? As the material in this universe is not the same material as Allah first. Have we established that bit first before we jump to the next bit?
Yeah, I heard that. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what was the question? Where do
you suppose the material came from?
Okay, so that's beautiful the way you said that, yeah, because we're supposing now, all of us on this panel, we supposing, you know what I'm saying? I've got my ancient knowledge, you've got yours. You know, the brother Kalam, you know, he's running around with some crazy one right now. I gotta give him that one. Show me where it says nothing. That is hard body. You know what I'm saying? I like that.
Bro, where do you suppose, brother, where do you suppose the material come from? That's the question.
So
all this other stuff besides a bit like ad libs.
So my assumption is this, yeah.
Your assumption, okay, go.
The material cannot be the same material as him. Cannot be. Otherwise, we never would have been here. We won't exist.
That's fine. That's my point. But listen to what the question I'm saying. Where do you suppose the material come from? Not if it's him.
Do you understand my answer, guys?
Yeah, you said it cannot be him. So I now want to know. So where do you think the material come from?
Because we exist. That's the only thing we know.
So where did the material come from?
Well, that's what separates God from his creation. You understand? Everything everything created has to have a cause and effect, has to have an origin point that goes back and back and back.
So where did the material come from?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's what separates him from us. He can create.
Where does it? We create too.
Where does the material come?
No.
In the world,
he can manifest something.
We can too.
Where did the material? Hold on, no.
You have to use
because I need to get to this because he's not answering the question. I just want to know.
No. I answered the question from the very beginning.
No, but you said no. You said to me,
I don't have the answer, Sway.
So you don't have the answer. So you don't know. So you don't know. So you don't know.
You know what I'm saying? But listen.
Are you saying no? Hold on. I want you to understand. Are you saying?
I'm saying this by deduction. You know what that is?
Where are you saying you don't know where the material? That's what I want to know.
Say for example, yeah, I'm like.
I already know where the material came from, though. That's not a fair question.
Who does?
No, but listen, Ahmed. I'm saying I don't have to answer that. I don't have to answer that question.
No,
why?
Because it's a retarded question.
Bang, they know how material.
No, it's a retarded question, Gabs. You see what I'm trying to say? You said the angel on the scene. You know what I mean?
1 minute. Gabs, what do you think of what I just said to you?
I'm coming in too loud, guys.
Wait. Because the brother was gonna answer the question, then he was saying all these other things, these little ad libs, but he weren't answering. I want to know. Forget about the I just want to know, where do you think the material come from? If it's not God, you said all that stuff, it can't be God, because where do you think the material?
Okay, so now you're asking a mad one. How does God create a planet? Like, imagine that.
I didn't say how God created a planet, bro. I didn't even mention God.
And how do you create an angel? It's mad,
bro. Omar.
Mad. That's why we call him God.
I didn't even mention God's name. I didn't say God. I just said, where did the material come from? I didn't mention God being on the stool creating. All I said is, where does the material come from? Where does the material come from?
And I told you, did you hear my answer? Did anyone hear my answer?
No.
I said it a few different things. I done the Kanye thing.
Where did material come from, bro?
Okay, let me give you the same answer that I've given you before, yeah? I cannot answer that question.
Okay,
all I know is, hold up. All I know is by 100% logic, scientific deduction, all these things that you described earlier on, wisdom, it cannot be the material held within this universe. And I broke that down for you the other night, and you didn't. And it's funny because we need to go see that Rasta that was with us as well, because he said that dark matter was antimatter, and he had me tripping. And I'm like, don't say knowledge if it ain't true, and that's not true. Dark matter is not antimatter. They're two different things.
Do you know, Omar, sorry, brother, sorry to cut you. I'm just gonna go with your first answer, which is you don't know, because I think that's the answer that.
No, actually, none of us know.
Just say you don't know, because
the only thing I do know.
Just say you don't know. The only thing I do know, please, bro.
Can I say my answer?
Okay, go on.
The only thing I do know is that it's not the same material held within this universe.
Okay, that's fine. So That's
It's
fine.
not dark matter and it's not dark
That's fine.
energy.
That's fine. So we don't know. So the main answer is you don't know. That's cool. That's fine.
But I know that it's not that though.
That's
It's not
fine.
nothing in this
But,
universe. So I'm trying to say, I don't know what it is, but I know what it's not.
well, it's funny.
Does that make sense?
You know why that's funny though? Because do you know why it's a bit weird now? Because you said you know that is nothing that's within this creation, but it comes
100%.
from somewhere. So if it's not in this universe, in this creation, but it come from somewhere, where is that place of origin?
What are we talking about now?
No. The material.
Yeah, guys.
You just said
Yo,
the
guys.
material.
Yo, guys, I
Say
have a
again, brother?
drawing. Yeah, I have a drawing to represent what we're talking about. If I can just show it. Yo, Kalam. What are you saying? Can I show on the screen?
Can I just quickly
Come.
say something?
Okay, look. Yeah, you guys can see that, right? So this is God.
Move it down some. Move it down some. There you go. Now stop moving
This
the camera. There you go.
not shaky. So this right here is God. This is before any creation, and He's in all places. If there's any directions, He's in all the directions. So before creation, He's the only one that is. Now, when you say God creates out of nothing, so let's just say this is nothing, and this is God. When you say God creates out of nothing, you're saying there's a place where God is not. So that means that God is not at all place, and He's
An
not the only one.
alternate reality? Are you kidding me? That can't happen.
Okay. Let me break that one down for you if you want to know, yeah? See, this universe, yeah, it's got laws, time and space. We're trapped within these laws. We should be flowing around like, why can't I go to 1970 and wherever? I should be able to transcend all of that. But I'm stuck here. Yeah? So anything outside of this universe is not subjected to the laws of this universe. This ain't even like high level science. This is just basic. Anything that sounds outside of the universe, yeah, and outside time and space can see the beginning and end because it's not subjected to this trap that we're in.
Bro, but how
So,
are you gonna how are you gonna show us outside in the universe? How are you gonna explain us outside the universe?
Let me break it down for you, because I thought you got this that night, but did you get it that night or you didn't?
No, bro, I feel like I didn't get it because I'm still trying to understand where this material come from. But I'm happy you said that you don't know, which means
No,
obviously it's something that we need to look.
I said I know what it's not.
What it's not. I know what you're saying. What it's not, but I want to know where it's come from. Do you see what I'm saying? You said you said
now,
what it's not.
now you're gonna start tripping, but I mean,
no.
Cool. Hold on, family. Let me get over to Brother Ahmed because he's been waiting for the longest time to get his little input in. So Brother Ahmed, and then we're gonna get back into you guys afterwards. All right, Ahmed, go ahead, King. Oh, furthermore, Ahmed, yeah. There is a lot of feedback, like duplication, echoing. So I don't know what's going on with your mic, but I'm just letting you know that's the reason why I keep muting you.
Oh no, that's cool. Is it still there? Can you not hear me?
Yeah.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah.
Right,
Jeez.
cool. Basically, yeah. According to the Big Bang, everything came from, let's just call it gas for simplicity. Now, all of solid was at one point gas. So, to a degree, the question of the matter that we observe, must we contain the same matter as quote unquote the creator? I don't think it's a fair question. You see what I'm saying? What we could say is, for example, people say a lot that everything came from energy. Energy was infinite, etc., etc. Now, if you was to say to the religious mind, or i.e. a Muslim, everything is power. Power has always existed, and it took power to bring something to existence. They wouldn't necessarily disagree with you, but it's the moment they hear energy, they think it's definitive and it isolates. And from what we know of Allah, we cannot isolate Allah. So power, we wouldn't have a problem with. energy, although it's the same thing, it would make some people jump. Is Gabs there? Now, Omar, would you disagree with that, brother?
See, the thing is, my brother,
and everything requires power.
yeah. The thing is, my brother, you said a point there, yeah. When you said energy is infinite, yeah, and this is exactly and precisely the reason of my point, yeah. Do you want me to tell you about that, yeah? Now, the energy, right? This universe is comprised of matter, dark matter, and dark energy. Yeah, that's this universe. You know what I'm saying? And the amount of energy in this universe is always exactly the same. It doesn't, it's not, you said infinite earlier on. If it was infinite, then yeah, maybe it could have been. It could have been the same material as this creator, but it can't be. And I'll tell you why. Because if the creator is the same material as within this universe, then he's bound by the same laws as this material. So therefore, he cannot be this material. Otherwise, he wouldn't be eternal. Let that sink in for a bit.
Can you destroy energy? Answer that for me.
No.
So the creator can exist within this realm.
Within this realm, the same amount of energy has always been in this realm. It just transfers into a different state.
Right.
So what it is the deeper you look into energy, and that ain't even my main ish, but the deeper you look into it, you recognize it's some powerful, powerful stuff, but it can't be the creator, because then the creator wouldn't be eternal. And then, you know, there's a whole bunch of problems. We wouldn't have existed as well. We can go into that if you wanna. But just let the first one sink in for a bit and let someone else take over.
The creator is not a limited thing. So no one's saying that the creator is, well, I'm not saying that the creator is energy, as in terms of a limited one type of thing with and he's in here. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, think of energy as power. Yeah. Now, considering power, what I'm saying is that the universe required power to come into existence, and it requires power to maintain existence. So what I'm saying is an attribute of Allah is what it took in order for it to come to existence, and it's what it takes in order for it to stay in existence.
I don't know what you're saying, my brother. It's not very clear cut. I'm being very direct in my statement. You heard it live and direct.
Let me kind of help out just a tad. Two things. Energy is not created. Energy is not destroyed. The third thing, we have the number infinity. We see on a calculator when we make a miscalculation, it goes into a bunch of nines that are unending. You can do it with a simple math problem if you have a number that's odd that keeps going on and on and on forever. It has no end to the equation. So we know what infinity is in this realm. The question is, if we have infinity in this realm, which I would call hu or hehe, and we know what it is, and we know it exists, and we see energy simply has those attributes, and we know that everything in this realm is begotten, meaning that this creates this, this creates this, this creates that. Even by your own cognizance, you think everything has a consequence. How do you get a God who can't beget and is not begotten to create this realm?
Is that to me?
Yeah, or any of the brothers.
It's a deep philosophical question. I mean, that's why I said, yeah. Do you want me to go off? Because there's nukes already here.
You're busy, baby. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, man, to each his own. But I'm standing on what I believe in. You know what I mean? I'm not here to destroy another person's faith. You smell me? But what I would say is that You feel me? You understand? You feel the flame. It's there. Someone set it off.
I feel you, baby. I feel you. Brother Patai's in the building. Imhotep Saber.
Hey, peace.
My Morris brother in the building. Go on, take it.
Man, Islam. I rise giving praises to Allah and give honors to all true and divine prophets, including the Kemetic ones. So I got one question to my Muslim brothers. So if Allah can't exist within his own existence, and the essence of the substance of the universe is not Allah, then how does the soul return to Allah?
Woo!
My brother, we don't have a disagreement. It's not me. As far as I'm concerned,
Hello.
my position is it took a will of Allah for the universe to come to existence. A will is quote unquote power, quote unquote energy. Now, it took energy for the universe to come to existence, and the universe requires energy to exist. We possess energy to exist. Everything we know requires energy to exist, and energy belongs to Allah. So personally, I don't have an issue with that. My only issue is I wouldn't say Allah is in here because I don't define Allah by a limited term. I don't like in here per se, as in he is bound by the laws of this universe, etc., etc. That is not something that I would hold.
All right, 1 second, real quickly. Just mute your mic, please, Ahmed, because that echo is terrible. Family on the panel. Gabs is trying to get in. The resident medicine man is trying to get in. So if anybody can jump out, please do. So
yeah, I'll jump out still.
Gabs in. Perfect. Thanks, family. All right. Just make sure I let him know. All right.
Hello. Can you hear me, Kalam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to speak for the longest. I don't think they could hear me.
Go ahead.
Brother Omar, and what I wanted to say is, I mean, you were saying all this stuff about you got armory, bullets, and all this stuff. Yeah. But what I want to know is
warheads, my brother, nuclear warheads. We don't mess with guns around here.
Okay, but my point is like, what's your sources? Do you get what I'm saying? Is that from an Islamic point of view, or is just that something you've researched and you've come to that conclusion?
Good question, yeah. So what I would say is this, yeah, and I told this to Brother Kalam, yeah, but
go
you as well, yeah.
Yep.
Basically, right? If I pulled out the Quran and the Quran said, I made you from nothing. And you understand what nothing is? It's no thing. It's the existence of nothing. It's a complete vacuum.
Made
nothing there. Hold up. What I'm saying is, yeah, if I pull out a Quran that says, or a hadith, or whatever you take would be, solid, that says, I created you, or I created everything from nothing, yeah? Those exact lines that we're all satisfied with, even though the whole entire Muslim ulama would break down being it is, kun faya kun, as making something for nothing. But Kalim, I'm not gonna just whitewash his thing aside, yeah, because it's smart. He must have put in a lot of work to double check that it doesn't say that exact line. Even though I've seen it somewhere that it did, Kalim. I hope you ain't tripping right now that it's out there, that exact line. That's gonna hurt.
Okay, but
anyway.
I think what's gonna hurt more is the creation of Adam.
Let me finish, yeah. So basically, if I showed you the book, yeah, and I pulled it out, yeah, and then I showed you another book, or let's just do a parallel universe, same situation. I show you it's not in the book.
Okay.
Do each one of them situations make it so?
To each one of those
situations. If I show you that it's in a nice Quranic source here that he says that I made you from nothing, yeah?
Short answer is no, because
no,
it's just an account.
It's just
it's not reality.
It's just an account.
Yeah,
exactly. It means nothing.
Okay,
right. So now you catched up with me. I'm trying to pull you up to where I'm at. So now let's scrap the books because they mean what does it mean for us, truth seekers? Yeah.
Okay.
Let's work it out in our heads. Yeah. If God is the same material that is here, then we would have never been here. Shout out to the brother Abdul Rahim Green, yeah, back in the day, old school Dawah guy from Speaker's Corner, maybe in the 90s, yeah.
Okay.
This is his one, yeah. I'm not gonna steal this, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna run it anyway.
Just
so
hope it
nice.
helps you.
Yeah, it's called the sniper analogy. Okay. Now imagine I'm a sniper, yeah, and I've got my target within my crosshairs.
Okay.
And before I take him out, I have to radio back to base, and I say, base, I've got him in my crosshairs. Should I take him out?
Yeah.
They say, hold up. We have to radio back to headquarters. Headquarters says, yes, we've got him. We need you to co-sign it. They say, hold up, we need to go to higher up. And they go to higher up. And then they go to higher up. And then they go to higher up. And they go to higher up. And they keep going to higher up and higher up and higher up.
Regress. Okay, we got it. Infinite regress. Continue.
Does the sniper take the shot?
No, but the target moves on and lives and has kids.
Gab, why do we let him in right there?
He's been in for a while. He just
get the point.
I'm just trying to understand. I mean,
he never takes the shot. He never takes the shot.
If he never takes the shot, the target is still there and he doesn't die. He lives on.
No. We wouldn't have existed. The shot is the planet, is the universe getting created.
No. But the target, you said the target is in your crosshairs. So if there's a target, if the target is in your crosshair, and the target is there, if you don't take the shot, hold on, listen to what you just said. You have the target in sight, and now you are phoning someone to ask whether you can take it. Then he phones and checks. By the time you phone, that target's long gone, mate.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, let's say
the target's gone.
Let's say the target can't move. He's stuck there, cement shoes. Can I ever take the shot?
Okay, now you've added something in that's not realistic. Because now you have
you've done intellectual dishonesty. You just done some mad shit. I'm surprised you're saying that.
Oh no, wait! You just explained the universe.
Hold on.
As a
sniper.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. Hold on before we get there. Omar.
Let's say it's not.
Hold on, Omar, because you've been Omar.
I love you, Omar, but you're
Omar. Slow down, because you've been shy.
Yeah,
slow down, yeah.
You're messing up.
Omar, hold on. Omar, this was your analogy, yeah? Listen to what you said. Everybody heard what you said. You didn't mention nothing about the target being stuck. You've added that because once I've now said that the target's now moved on, yeah, and lived and carried on and survived, okay, let's just say the target is stuck. No. Saying, if there's a target in your crosshair and you are a sniper, that target, but then you phone in someone to say whether you can take the shot or not. Time you're phoning, the target's gone, bro. Games, I'm sure you played games. The target's gone. You failed the mission. Respawn, do the mission again. Come on, bro. It's not rocket science. Come on. The target's gone. So now explain a bit more better, please. So do it again, but don't use the sniper.
Respawn.
I don't understand that analogy.
That analogy was mad.
That was sick. And listen, Gabs, it's not going to help you because I'm just going to say, okay, it's a bullseye now.
You help me, please.
It's a bullseye now. It's a bullseye. It's a bullseye now.
It's a bullseye now.
Can he take the shot?
What's a bullseye?
The target is a stationary target. It's a bullseye. Can he take the shot?
So the target is stationary, yes?
For you, for the sake of you, and you alone.
The target is stationary, and now you have to phone in to ask if you can take the shot. Is that what you're saying to me?
Correct.
Now, if the target is stationary,
does he take the shot?
But hold on. It's not, the thing is about you. The emphasis is you. You taking the shot has no effect on the target being stationary, does it?
I'm asking you a simple question.
Bro, answer my question. I'm asking you a question. Does you not taking the shot?
I've lost where this analogy was going.
Does you not taking the shot have an effect?
Hold on.
Do you know what?
Does
Yeah,
you not taking the shot?
Me and Mike's, please,
Adam's
family.
already answered it. He said no.
Me and Mike's family, because like I can see this. This is a nowhere going anywhere conversation. Okay, so our brother Ansir, man, let's interject some real thought into this conversation right now. Go.
Okay, thank you, Kalam. So I've been listening. It seems like the problem here is talking about the infinite regress problem, and so I think it's Omar saying that if you're trying to take a shot and then you need to ask permission, and the shot's never gonna get taken. Is that correct?
Thank you.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that's a really stupid argument. The fact of the matter is, yeah, we only, sorry, brother, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to clarify that is the argument because it is a really silly one. The fact of the matter is, yeah, we're only in this situation because you guys have invented an outside of the universe explanation. Now, if you guys didn't do that, we would seek to explain things in the world in terms of the world. Yeah,
hold up.
There is no good reason.
Infinite.
Wait, there's no good reason to step outside.
I've seen this argument 100 times. I don't want to spend another hour on the phone.
Okay, so
what you universe infinite?
We don't know.
What do you mean we don't know?
Do you know?
Who's we?
I don't know. Do you know?
What is the consensus of things that we do know?
Bro, you asked me if the universe is infinite. What are you talking about now? You asked me if the universe is infinite. I told you I don't know. So what's your point?
Did we come from a singularity?
Bro, I don't know. What's your point?
Oh my God. Okay, then you know what I mean? They sent the wrong guy.
No, they didn't send the wrong guy, bro. I'm being honest about the
science. You don't know who Edwin Hubble is.
Listen, saying you know things doesn't make
you
you
said my shit was dumb.
Theories.
You said my shit was dumb and you don't even know what you're talking about. Come on, brother.
Right, so let me explain what I was going to say before you interjected, yeah? This problem with infinite regress, we only come into this problem in philosophy when people posit or invent a magical explanation for physical things.
No.
Now,
I didn't invent anything.
Bro, I've been listening for a long time. I've heard you guys all speak. I just want to make this point, yeah? The fact of the matter is, a normal rational person nowadays would see something happening, seek to explain it in terms of the physical world that it exists in, because everything is interdependent and interrelated. So we have found that methodology of the scientific method to be very useful and fruitful in terms of understanding how the physical world operates. Now, because religious people didn't have access to that type of methodology in the past, they made up silly stories. They made up magical dimensions. Now, that is the only reason why we end up in the situation of infinite regress being a problem. We, naturalists, we don't have a problem with infinite regress because we don't make up magical bullshit.
No,
now,
the problem
religious people... No, hang on a minute.
Expanding.
Bro, hang on a minute. Religious people invent a magical dimension, and then to get out of the fact that that's useless, they say, but we have to have a starting point. Why couldn't the universe be the starting point? No, because we don't know things, so God has to be there. Okay, so what made God? No, we can't do that because it's infinite. Bro, this infinite regress is a problem you guys create. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you use special pleading to opt out of the infinite regress problem, meaning that God has to be the start because there can't be one behind. Bruv, it's just nonsense. It's a really silly argument. That's all I need to say.
Okay, so what your comeback was, if I'm just correct, is that what was your comeback? You were saying that it's a silly argument because religious people have to find a way to make things right, this, that, and the third. I don't know what you were saying. I'm just using basic logic.
Bro, I will explain it again more simply because you didn't.
No, please don't. I'm gonna fall asleep. Let me just.
Okay, but it's not really for your benefit because it's for the other people. What the fact of the matter is, is that infinite regress is only a problem because you guys invented the situation of a magical dimension to explain things. Then, to avoid the infinite regress problem you created, you use special pleading that God has to be the first start, and it can't be anything behind.
Let me get this right. You talking to anyone who believes in a creator now, yeah?
If they use,
are you talking to anyone who believes in a creator when you say you lot?
I'm talking to anyone who uses the special pleading of their God as the starting point to avoid the infinite regress problem that they created. If you can't understand that, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm trying my best.
So that's yes. That's anyone who believes in a creator. You saying that they?
No, bro, because people not everybody who believes in a creator has this issue with the infinite regress problem. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So
and that their God is outside the visible universe. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. So let me just say my piece because he's talking to me anyway, innit? So I'll just address him. Brother Ansar, what I'm saying to you is I'm not talking about Islam. In the beginning of this conversation, you came in late. I explained to you that if it is in the Quran, yeah, or if it isn't in the Quran, it means nothing. Did you not catch that bit in the beginning? So I'm taking religion out of this from the start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you take religion out of it, then why are we in the problem of discussing infinite regress? It's only because you have posited an explanation outside of the universe.
Okay,
that's why.
Exactly. So look,
it doesn't matter what your God is, or if you're choosing to talk about Islam. The point is still the same.
Listen to me, and I'll tell you. You asked the question within your little rebuttal there, so I'll tell you. Yeah. Basically, it would have been cool if the planets weren't, moving away from each other, and the galaxies weren't moving away from each other, and we wasn't detecting that everything traces back to a singular point around 12 billion years ago. It would have been cool. I would have believed in you. I would have said, nah, there's no scientific way this creator must have been part of this universe, because this universe has been eternal. But now we know that's not the case.
Whoa. One quick correction. The universe is speeding up, but it's getting faster, showing that Newton's law has a slight flaw, meaning it's not going to crash.
I know, but don't divert, my brother, yeah, because that means nothing.
So your science is correct when you say that.
But Omar, Omar, no matter what you say, it's a theory, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
The thing is, no, guys, Omar, the thing is, I mean, I won't correct you like outside it, but what I would say is this, though: your understanding of the Big Bang is wrong, because it's not an absolute. Yeah, we can only infer the Big Bang occurring from the logic of taking the expansion of the galaxies backwards. Now that's inference, yeah. So there's no guarantee that the universe actually did begin, and there's no guarantee that it began at such a.
Okay, so we fast forwarded the whole bloody thing. So I'm glad we've caught up to each other now, where we're having a loggerheads at this point, the singularity point. Yeah. Now, it looks more logical to me that something that is not, and I need to chat to the boss. I need to chat to Carlos about this, man. I'm gonna chat to him next week, hopefully, or whenever I see him next.
Carlo, yeah, you talking about Carlo?
Yeah, because obviously he's the authority in this field.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So this is what I'm saying to you. Now, do you agree that this universe is made of matter, and dark energy?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now this material, yeah, this energy, yeah, the same amount of it has always been within this universe. Do you agree?
Yeah, it does seem like that is the case.
Right.
The first law of thermodynamics. Yep.
Okay then. So now, as this universe expands, weirdly enough, the energy within it just stays the same.
Yeah.
It changes into different states, but even though it's getting massive, space seems to make, like, there seems to be more space.
Yeah.
And that's even more trippy if we start going into that. So we won't even get into that. But basically,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So basically, the energy is like, there's tons and tons of energy, but it's always the same amount. That means at this singular point, it must have been so powerful. But anyway.
Yeah, but you know what? I
digress. Hold up. Okay, let me just get to my point real quick, then come in. So we know now these particular, like this substance that we talked about, these three things, yeah, they're bound by laws, and the entity that made it cannot be the same material as it, because he would still be bound, or it would be bound by the same laws as this material.
Okay, well, look, can I just say that
we would keep going back, like you talked about before.
But none of that is a definite.
Yeah, bro, this is an assumption.
Hold on. None of that is definite. Any facts whatsoever.
But what?
Ridiculous.
But if
this
we
assumption
go
of a creator, like, why are you assuming that there's a creator?
If we go by what the brother's saying, yeah, then that thing inside was bound by something, because something that was singular, now something happened, obviously. Something did occur, something did happen, which now made the expansion, yeah? And the first thing I want to know is, what was it expanding in? Because if you're saying something is expanding, what is it expanding in? And for something to happen means it must have been bound by something for this now current something. Do you see what I'm saying?
If there's space, there was always space.
I've seen the clash you had on this particular subject. So we won't do it again.
So what is the universe expanding in? That's the first question I want to do. What's it expanding in?
Because what just happened, there was a little kerfuffle going on after I said my piece. And so when radio silent for a second, I'm sure he's going to come back in with something. and you know, everyone just, you know, it was kind of murmurs and that. So what I'm saying is, did you not get
What
that
are we
point?
expanding in, brother Omar?
Did
Because
you
you've
not
been
get
chatting a
that
lot and
point, my
doing a lot
brother
of this.
Gaz?
What are we expanding in?
My brother, did you get the point?
Oh, I didn't get your point. What are we expanding in?
It wasn't good though. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
It's all theory.
You
Yeah.
There's nothing
understand why the
factual that you said, bro.
material, yeah, within this realm,
That's a
and not in the
theory.
same role as the creator. Do you understand
that
that?
But
Okay,
we're
look,
gonna understand it. But this is
can I, guys, can I,
the only way we're gonna understand is I need to now know what are we expanding in? What was the singularity expanding in?
Peace.
Understand the first fact, because I don't like moving on to other things until we get things first.
Okay,
This is what
Omar,
I'm saying. I will
Omar, can I
understand.
address what you said? Gabs, I appreciate your point, and it's a very, very good question. Honestly, I think that's a perfect question. However, I don't think we're going to get an answer for that, because the fact is we don't know. The world's greatest
Exactly.
scientists don't know.
No, it's not. No, but
my
I
point
know.
is that
Answer. You're right. Answer. You're right. Do you know why I know? And this is why I wanted to see what he was going to say. Yeah, because he already said he doesn't know where the material come from. So then now, this is why I had to ask the question is, what is the material expanding in? Because the materials is the universe, yeah? So what is that expanding in? Because he already said he doesn't know where the material comes from, which is the material is obviously the universe. So I need to know, what is it that the material is expanding in?
Peace.
So he can't tell me he knows when he really says he doesn't know where the material come from.
Peace.
All right.
So
enough.
this
Fair enough.
is the Morris brother, right? So
All right, go ahead, Morris, brother.
I mean,
the
Mute your mics,
Quran,
please.
I know the brother don't want to talk about the Quran, but the Quran stipulates. So the Quran talks about the moment of the Big Bang, right? It's the separation, right? And then it talks about right after the separation, you have the waters that Allah creates from, right? So the space in between the separation is that water, right? And when you go into the Kemetic science, I mean, you were talking about the waters of Noon a while ago, so you already know what that is, right? That water is that space that everything's happening within. I mean that limit, if that helps.
All right. So it does. It's good, my brother. It's good. Give thanks for that input. So now, where were we? Let me just go over quickly, and then let's move on because we need to close down the show. It's like 2:00 in the morning. So Omar, say what you're saying, and then let's just get some order back into this.
Yeah, is that whoever you are, whenever you're on a hangout, whenever you're talking to someone, you may say something to someone that really just like, we should all just like think to ourselves like this is what I'm trying to say. If I leave you with anything, I leave you with this. And I believe it's wrong on both sides. To Christians, and I've seen chemists do it to Muslims, respecting people. I've seen atheists doing it to mainly Muslims, which is basically trying your best to take a person out of their faith, and it's like, what do you get out of it? What do we gain at the end of it when we're about to die? You know what I'm saying? Because we just scratched the surface today. Like, remember the outskirts of Islam, Muslim and gone heavy into it, like crazy into it. Like, we believe there's another realm after this, guys, and this dunya is a simulation, in an assimilation right now. So my only thing to say, like, just take it easy. Everyone take it easy. Like, I'm not here to, if you want to believe that everything is God, it is a big check actually in our religion, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, there's worse people out there. There's worse people, and I could quote countless of hadiths that are saying we ain't paid out crazy.
All right, real quickly now, let me just jump over to Ahmed. Ahmed, earlier on the question was asked what material was utilized. Did you know the answer to that, or is it one of those Allahu Alam ones? Ahmed, are you there?
Yeah, I was saying, as far as I recall, the universe started from a big bang. For simplicity's sake, everything was gas at one point, so all material
came from a gas form, if you like. So the material that we witness, the universe, does not need to be the creator's quote unquote material. What I will say is that in order for anything to come into existence, it takes a will, and a will obviously is synonymous with an action. An action is pretty much synonymous with energy. We know that this universe requires energy to exist. So I would say that there's an attribute of Allah that it took for the universe to come to existence and to stay in existence, and that is power. But I wouldn't say that this universe is Allah or any of those sort of phrases, because I wouldn't say that you could define Allah into a definitive, limited term.
Okay, so the material of the universe, do you know where that came from exactly?
Isn't it helium and et cetera, isn't it just gas?
Okay, so where did those gases come from?
That I would say was it energy?
And where do you think the energy came from?
The energy came from Allah's will.
So the energy came from Allah's will.
Yeah.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
No, that's a pretty sick answer, man.
Well, simply, in order to make an action, that would simply insinuate a will. An action insinuates a will for me. In a will, obviously, for a will to manifest is how you manifest energy. Is how you observe energy. When a will is manifested, an action is manifested. That is how you observe energy. So I would say that is how energy began.
Excellent. So basically, we are going to say that the furthest we can go back without going straight to Allah is energy, basically. And that by Allah's will, energy became. So now I have to ask you this question. Is Allah tangible to make energy?
Allah is not tangible, no.
So his will is not tangible to make energy.
You know, you asked, is Allah energy? I wouldn't say Allah is energy, but did you say, is his will energy?
Is his will tangible?
Is his will tangible? What do you mean?
So for example, is energy tangible?
Is energy tangible? That's a good question. I wouldn't say
it's measurable.
As in, it can take different forms.
Is measurable the same as tangible? Then yeah, that's correct.
You're waking up. You're waking up.
No, I'm firmly within. This is what I've always known for ages. But anyway, carry on.
I wouldn't say the will of Allah is tangible. No.
Okay. So how would you say the conversion of will became energy?
Well, how do you observe energy without a will?
So you are presupposing you need will to have energy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So an apple, does it contain energy and does it contain a will?
I say it contains energy, and I say it contains a will because I say it came to existence because of the will of Allah.
So does the apple itself have a will?
No, I say its existence is because of an external will.
Okay. So now we can clearly see that things can exist without actually having a will, correct? Within inside our universe, inside nature. Would you agree with that?
Yes, but bear in mind, just bear one thing in mind. For example, a watch doesn't require energy to exist, but it required energy to come into existence.
The watch is made up of energy.
Exactly.
Yes.
You just answered the question. See, it wasn't will that created, was it? It was energy.
But listen. It itself.
You just said answer the question yourself.
Gabs, does a watch itself possess energy? Itself.
I think maybe the question is, does energy have a conscience? And we can measure that when universes collide.
I don't want to go that far. I want to just stick on this track real quickly, just see if we're making leaps and bounds with Ahmed. So Ahmed, we can see that things can exist without a will and actually have energy, correct? So I wanted to know, how did you come to the conclusion of, God, full stop, number one? Well, God having a will in order for energy to come.
All right. Here's the thing. The point I was trying to make is, a watch required energy for it to come into existence. We don't have a disagreement there. A watch itself does not possess energy.
It is composed of energy.
It's composed. What do you mean?
Sorry?
What do you mean by it's composed of it? Does a watch itself possess energy?
Yeah.
Itself, a metal piece itself, does it possess energy?
Yes, the metal piece is composed of energy. What makes the watch a watch is energy. It's energy, it's matter.
Okay, the point I'm trying to make is energy is a manifested action.
Okay, so you're saying that energy is a manifested action. And how did you come to that conclusion?
Because that is how I measure energy. That's how I can observe energy. When an action has occurred is when I can observe energy.
That's a presupposition.
Okay, hold on. So that's when you can measure energy. The question is, does the object still have energy?
Does the object still have energy?
Properties of the watch the same as the universe.
I beg you, let me answer, man.
Hold on, brothers. Patience. Sabor.
Yes, sir.
Now, this universe itself, you could tell me that it possesses energy itself.
It is constituted of energy, yes.
Yes, okay, I wouldn't have an issue with that. But I would say that is so because it was given energy.
Okay, now I want you to demonstrate how it was given energy.
Because that energy has to have a source.
And why does it have to have a source?
Because it has to have a cause.
Why?
Because energy is an effect
of
a cause.
How?
Because energy is either an effect or it's a cause. I would say it's an effect based on what we observe.
What if energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so it has no cause and it has no defect?
How do we observe and come to a scientific conclusion that something has no cause?
We can come to the conclusion that energy has always existed, as far as we know, as part of this universe, constitutes this universe, and makes this universe. So, as far as we know, go ahead.
No, we have no disagreement there. However, does the cause of this universe itself, must it also be necessary for the cause itself to require energy to exist?
Yes.
How so?
Because it's the cause. If you're causing something to happen, you're using energy. So the same way, if you
I don't have a problem with using energy.
if you push someone over, you've caused something to happen. If you make a cake,
no, Gabs, I don't have a problem with using energy.
Okay.
My issue is, must it contain energy?
Yes. It would have to. The cause would have to contain the energy.
Let me do it like this. Ahmed,
define energy.
Ahmed, do you know of anything that is not composed or constituted of energy?
No, I don't. No, I'm asking you. I don't have a problem with that. I'm totally with you. What I'm saying is define energy for me. Define energy.
Sorry, did you say something?
Define energy for me now.
Well, let's go to a dictionary, and then we can share the screen. You can see. Wow, I am tired, family. You know. Sleep.
Greetings, brother Abdul. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. كيف حالك?
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Okay. Energy, the strength and vitality.
Brother Kalam, sorry to cut you as well. When you read that one, can you also just go to cause as well? Just type up cause, because then we can get some understanding.
Okay. So it says here, energy, noun. We're going to go into the colloquial terms, and then we're going to go into the physics terminology. It says here, the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. A person's physical, it's got here person's physical and mental powers. 2, powers derived from the utilization of physical or chemical resources, especially to provide light and heat or to work machines. And now we enter into the realms of science, which is physics, the field of physics. It says here, the property of matter and radiation, which is manifest as a capacity to perform work, such as causing motion or the interaction of molecules. A degree or level of energy possessed by something or required by a process.
Kalam, I'm not being funny, but that seems to say as much as I was saying. Energy is pretty much manifested once an action is performed.
That you can measure. You can measure energy once some form of motion.
Yes.
Or once you have to be able to do something to be able to measure the energy. Correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've made my argument for me. So the point I'm making is energy, the first moment of energy that we could claim really and truly is the first moment of creation.
It's a lie.
No, that's not true. Come on, man.
Yeah, the first motion that ever occurred was when the infinite put into motion the finite.
I think the clue was molecular, molecules, or atom. Atom.
Tell me if this is wrong.
Let's get
That's where the energy came from, the atom. Okay,
one
son?
moment, Malcolm. I'm making it in layman's terms.
All right, I'm putting it in layman's terms for you. You get what I'm saying? The energy has always existed because atoms, or on the subatomic level, they have always existed. Yeah, and birthed this energy and matter into existence from.
We agreed that energy is manifested.
Yeah, but you haven't said neutrons, electrons, and.
We're not even going there, Michael. Look what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you, energy is manifested through motion. Is that correct, Kalam?
Energy? No, it's not actually. It's not manifested through motion.
Yeah, it's not, man.
It's not.
We've got to learn about energy today. Or just, you know what I mean?
It's really not manifested through motion.
I'll give you the answer.
If I actually said that, I apologize. Maybe I'm too tired. No.
Energy before it moves, then it becomes kinetic energy. You know what I'm saying?
Kinetic energy. There you go. There's different.
Guys, please. What is the question you want to know? I'll answer it quick time.
Who wants to know something?
Someone was asking a question.
He was explaining something, but I'm saying to him,
he wants to find out what energy is, bro.
Yeah, but he said it there. You might say, yeah, what it does, but it's from a cause, and the cause is coming from the cellular level. Do you get what I'm saying? Which they're just studying now and just getting into, which is subatomic particles, quartz, zools, and biaps, that triple darkness. Do you get what I'm saying? For the lightest hydrogen, helium. Do you get what I'm saying? Before all of that existence, you have to go down, further down. So we deal with the atom, the circle, and the dot.
guys.
So when that
I
circle and the
agree
dot,
with
the
you.
energy.
Everything.
Hold on 1 second. You want an explanation of where the energy came from?
Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
It's telling you. Do you get what I'm saying? On the cellular level, if you look at an atom, yeah, and it's
When you say
composed of
cellular
certain.
level, what word are you trying to say, brother?
Bro, it wasn't me.
You're
They
saying
said
cellular.
cellular. They said cellular. I'm explaining it that cellular that they're talking about is the atom. You get
Okay.
what I'm saying? So we're all composed of what? Atoms, yes or no?
Well, we're matter at the end of the day, aren't we?
We are matter because that is what is the cause and
And
effect
then we're
of an
just like
atom.
energy
Hold on
vibrating
1
on
second.
different
Of an
frequencies.
atom vibrating, do you get what I'm saying? And creating heat and
Yes, I get what you're saying
energy.
100 years ago.
Heat and energy.
I
Do
don't
you get what I'm
disagree
saying?
with anything you're saying, my brother. The ancient knowledge is with me, man. We have to take ancient knowledge
Okay,
where it
that's
is.
ancient knowledge, but they're studying it now. They're only just getting into it. That's what the Hydron Collider is about, because they want to examine that dark
Right.
matter
So,
that
let's
is
not
95% of the universe. Come on, man.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? You said you wanted to go into realms of science and
I'm
blah, blah,
talking
blah, like
about,
we all, you know?
I'm very, very clear with my statements, B.
Okay, but I'm saying you're making some
Different breed out
inconsistencies. Yeah, obviously, because, you know, if you want to go into a field, you go into that field. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I said we have to separate religion from it. You get what I'm saying?
Save me, Kalam.
Because no, we're left with realms of supposition and guesswork and theories and what you
What's
think
that?
about something. Do you get what I'm saying? If we come
What's that?
out and we use the scientific principle and the information given, it doesn't come to the conclusion that you're saying. That's all.
All right.
Right. Like cork blowing plasma.
Come on, bro. We can go on many levels. We can go subatomic. We can go to that triple darkness, that quartz, Zul's on biaps,
That's
that
right.
everything was created from. So, you know, it's what level you have to raise your light.
Jeez. All right. You're dropping some fire and some heat right about now still. But family, okay, I'm exhausted, I'm exhausted. Y'all exhausted me, I need my sleep,
I hear that.
So what I wanted to write is, why is this thing always kicking people out? That's a madness. So anyways, let me think. Where am I rounding up to? I'm going to say, at the end of the day, this is what we're going to say. Okay. Let me just make sure I got my YouTube link going up. Isaac, not Ishmael, is there. And say I'm running on empty. Don't know. Universal science and religion don't go along. All right, cool. So at the end of the day, it's this. Y'all need to start to substantiate the claims y'all making. That's number one. You need to start substantiating the claims that you're making. And number two is start showing you're working out in it. Demonstrate your proofs in it. Demonstrate your proofs. Those are the two things I'm going to say to everybody on the panel. So at least that way we're all actually on the same board. We're all vibing together. We're all going to hopefully get to the same conclusion. If we're going to utilize nature or our environment and our intelligence and logic and science and rationale to induce a conclusion, let's be consistent with it and let us utilize those things. If we're not going to do that, it's going to be a very difficult conversation between everybody, because we can't all be on the same wave and we can't all have the same basis to move off on. I'm going to encourage us all to please utilize the scientific method, utilize logic, and please, stay within the universe, because all we know is the universe. Once we start talking about outside of the universe, now that enters into the realms of speculation and conjecture, because nobody ain't seen no outside of the universe. Nobody even knows if an outside of the universe even exists. It's something that's very much so in the realms of fairy tale and fiction. From my humble opinion, unless somebody could drop me a quick science and knowledge right now that can shut me up, and I'm really welcoming it. So I'm going to just quickly ask my brothers just to shut me up. I'm going to ask Ahmed if you could shut me up and tell me that there is an outside of the universe and just give me that medicine. Please do it now. I'll give you 5 seconds. No? All right. So I'm going to move on to my brother Omar. Brother Omar, is there an outside of the universe? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. So we can all say that there is an outside of the universe, and everything that we're saying about outside of the universe is conjecture and speculation. And we start bringing in, supernatural beings that live in this place called outside of the universe that caused this universe to come into being. We gotta admit we can't actually prove that. We really can't prove that. All we do know is that this universe exists. There is a certain amount of energy within, or there is energy in this universe that composes this universe, that makes this universe be. We do know that. Anything else, we're going into the realms of speculation. I don't mind going to the realms of speculation. We can do that in a little bit because I got a few theories to drop the way as well. But anyways, family, let me just quickly shut this particular show down. And hopefully we're going to continue these types of discourses off air and on tomorrow's show as well. So y'all, I'm going to see y'all later on. Peace, love, and please look after each other. All right? Peace.